working. Go to angelsontrack.org and report it. So far, 28 dangerous crossings have had gates installed because of those reports, making Ohio a safer place for kids like yours. Sponsored by Angels on Track, aired by the OAB and this station.
Welcome to So What's the Catch on All Sports Cleveland. Every Wednesday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, James, Josh, Kramer, AJ, Brian, and the one and only Chirk Berserk get together to discuss a wide variety of topics across the sports world. During these discussions, we let our opinions fly with a dash of comedy. And now, here's your show, So What's the Catch? Hello and welcome to today's Thanksgiving episode of So What's the Catch here on All Sports Cleveland.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
How are you celebrating?
Happy Chirksgiving.
Happy Chirksgiving.
Chirksgiving, I like it. How are you celebrating Thanksgiving over there, Chirk?
Studying the real history of Thanksgiving. And it's a brutal one.
The real history?
All right.
That they don't teach us in school.
Oh, okay. So
No,
you're talking about
The real history of the Pilgrims.
smallpox and all that
nice
stuff,
people.
yeah? Smallpox blankets and things like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
You're talking about like the Europeans bringing over diseases and also like
Yeah, I mean it was just like a heel turn to begin with.
oh,
was like just
yeah.
Either working the wrestling.
It was just basically just them helping out. They were like having a good dinner with them, and then all of a sudden invaded and
All right.
took over the land. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
What I meant more is like, what are you doing on Thanksgiving Day? Like, are you just...
Just eating some food.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, eating food. I mean, that's my favorite part about. Well, I lied. I just told a lie. Whoa, Kramer's here on Kramer time.
Kramer wanted to make a grand entrance.
And not only is he here almost on time, but he's also here with a piece of cherry pie.
There's pie out there.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I had some earlier. I had the cherry.
Yeah, so we were just talking a little bit, Kramer, about Thanksgiving, what we have planned, and
Yeah, I gotta go off the rails for a second. I'm glad you're talking about this because I come here for my doctor's appointment, right? Mm-hmm. And my doctor, he goes through this list of like questions every time I go there, so I always know what he's gonna ask me. And the last thing he always touches on every single time is my weight. He'll be like,
what a jerk, dude.
and it's every time. Like, I tell him every time, like, yeah, I know, I'm working on blah, blah, blah. And then, bro, it's the day before Thanksgiving. I do not want to hear this mess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to eat my pie and be safe.
So what are you doing to celebrate Thanksgiving? Just having dinner with the family, or?
Going to my girlfriend's parents' house. She works on Thanksgiving because she always works on holidays.
Nice.
I have family in town from all over the country, so I will be going over to my grandmother's for Thanksgiving during the day, and I will be watching football all day. I said eating was my favorite part of Thanksgiving. I lied. Football is my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Definitely be watching
So
football.
for me,
Yes.
I actually will be busy because I have to do my own cooking.
Oh.
I'm making a dish for my family's Thanksgiving. I saute like peppers, onions, and carrots. I'm throwing in a new vegetable this year, rutabaga.
Ooh, rutabaga.
Fancy.
Nice. I only know rutabaga from Winnie the Pooh. It was in Rabbit's Garden.
And it turns into like a whole stew, but
What is a rutabaga? Does anybody know?
What
it's
is
like
rutabaga?
it's related to the turnip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do
All
you
right.
spell it?
So it's gonna taste like beets.
All right, that's all I need.
B, something like that.
Predictive text will cover the rest.
Rutabaga.
Yeah.
I heard it in a cartoon once.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking
Yeah,
about. It was
it is
Winnie
a-
the Pooh. It was Piglet. He was flying a kite, and he got dragged through Rabbit's garden, and he tore up his rutabaga patch.
Okay.
That's what he
A
said.
rutabaga or swede is a root vegetable in a form of Brassica napus. Other names include Swedish turnip, neep, and turnip.
A Swedish turnip.
Good old Swedish. That's what you tell people too tomorrow. Don't tell them rutabaga. Be like, I put a little Swedish turnip in there.
And
About to
the
turn
big
up
thing
with some
my
turnip.
family, I promise. This is a sports show. We will get to the Browns and all that, but
Maybe.
Let's talk about rutabagas.
Yeah.
2 hours.
This is a big rutabaga show. Big rutabaga
But
show.
we do. Every year on Thanksgiving, we always do what's called the Turkey Bowl. My dad's side of the family is obsessed with ping pong.
Oh.
So everybody on my dad's side of the family plays.
That's a little different. Most turkey bowls are in the backyard involving a pigskin.
I'm sorry I'm so stuck on this, but I never knew how much information I could get about rutabaga off the internet.
Dude, the
like, it's
internet's
telling me how it tastes and everything. Buttery and sweet, savory taste.
Oh, wow.
Alright.
It has 143 calories. But aren't they like different sizes?
Yeah,
like,
what's the
every
ser-
rutabaga is going to be the exact same.
Right.
All right.
Ridiculous.
But since we're hosting air hockey, since we're hosting Thanksgiving, not air hockey. Well,
Yes.
Actually, since we're hosting Thanksgiving at my house this year,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually bringing a second tournament in where I'm the defending champ. Air hockey.
So the original turkey bowl is ping pong.
Yes.
And the Josh bowl is air hockey.
Correction. It's called the Gobbler Bowl.
The Gobbler Bowl.
Yes.
Okay, so
the
it's a spin-off
gobbledygooker?
bowl.
Me and my family, we like to fence.
All right.
Nice.
Go out in
Alright,
the yard
It's
and
already
fence.
hour
That's
2,
sweet.
and it's only been like 5 minutes.
All right. So now,
6 minutes.
yeah. So now that we got all the Thanksgiving and rutabaga festivities out of the way, let's get to a victory, I guess.
Yeah.
That was the worst win we've ever had. I thought it was like a loss with a win.
Oh, man.
before
you
we-
know when
Felt like
Chirk...
that.
Before we go too deep, we got to do One Word Wednesday.
Yes, one
though.
word Wednesday.
So one word for that game against the Lions.
So I was debating between 2 words on this.
Of course you were.
But they're both valid.
Okay.
I am gonna go with uninspired.
Uninspired.
The other word I was considering, unsuperstitious.
We're going to go with the first one there.
All right.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, makes far more sense because the second one I'm pretty sure isn't a word. But,
All right. What's your one word?
yikes.
Okay. What about you, Jerk? What's your one word?
Manager. I
Okay.
want to say game, but that's 2 words.
That would be 2 words.
Well, you could hyphenate it.
Sure, we'll give you the
Hyphenate
hyphen.
game manager.
Okie
Game hyphen
dokie.
manager. Valid.
Got it.
Accepted.
Mutiny.
Mutiny.
All right.
That's a
Why
great word.
mutiny?
Because it feels like after that game and after some of the things that happened after it, there's a mutiny going on in the locker room, and I don't feel the same support for Baker that always seemed like it was there before. Any other time in the past, whenever Baker was getting criticized, you could always tell where the team stood on him, and I'm not sure we're there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, really, what's going on, the whole Baker situation. Because like you said, for the most part, he's always been a guy that the teammates have, like, been outspoken about, like, being a tough guy and a good
And a
leader.
leader, and it's always been good.
You haven't heard any of that this year.
No,
You haven't heard a
haven't.
single one of those guys come and step up and say, you know what, Baker's playing through injuries or anything, you know?
I think maybe a little bit like in those first few games, but it's just gotten quieter and
Yeah.
quieter, and now it's to the point where like nobody's supporting him
Right.
anymore.
So do you think Baker's lost the locker room?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think he's definitely lost the majority of it.
Yeah.
He might still have a few holdouts, but
Yeah.
I think he's lost the majority for sure.
And the one I'm most worried about when it comes to Baker losing the locker room would be Jarvis, because
Yeah.
it seemed like I didn't get to watch every episode of Hard Knocks when the Browns were featured on it, but from the episodes that I was able to watch, it felt like Baker and Jarvis were like this, where like they were almost inseparable, if you will. And I'm not saying Jarvis it's turned into another Baker versus Odell situation. I'm not trying to compare it to that.
Right.
But it does feel like,
Feels pretty similar to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And then even the guys like Higgins, who we always thought, that's the golden boy, that's his guy,
Like,
but
that's his go-to guy.
yeah, but when the whole OBJ thing dropped on OBJ Senior's page, the video or whatever it was, he liked that post. And it was pretty well known that he liked that post. So it was like, when I saw that, I was like, wait, Higgins of all people? Like, Baker has been so loyal to that guy and, like,
Yeah,
targeted him so much more than most people ever would dream of.
It sounds dysfunctional. a little
Yeah,
It is.
that should have been the guy. When Higgins didn't stand up for Baker, I was like, okay, there's really something wrong here.
When Baker throws him the touchdown, and what about if he refuses to do the Hollywood Higgins I think that might be
remember what you're talking about.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
The celebration.
What about it?
Wait,
I mean,
confused where you're going
I don't
with this.
expect them to be doing a team celebration.
Oh, you're saying if they connect on a touchdown in the future, you don't think we're going to be
I don't
seeing
think Higgins
the
is gonna go for it.
trademark
He's gonna be like,
Hollywood
no
Higgins?
Baker.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm
I think it's-
celebrating with you.
That'll be
You
interesting
can do
to
the
see.
film by yourself.
With
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
We'll be filming, and I will not be walking.
With all
Right.
these current situations, it seems to me, and of course James isn't here; he's sick, and this would be one time, he'd love to be here.
Oh, God,
Because
yeah.
I have to admit that we definitely reached a point where that we have to make a decision on Baker.
Yeah.
Because there's two things that are going to happen: either we got to keep Baker and kind of clear out the rest of the locker room, which sounds like a heck of a task.
Yeah.
And I think it's completely the wrong move.
But I'm just saying it's down to either of those two choices. You
Right.
can either do that or you get rid of Baker, and I'm definitely in the get rid of Baker camp now.
Yeah, me too.
I can't believe I'm going to
Higgins
say
is
it,
good.
but I am too.
I like Higgins.
I was standing for Baker for so long, but what we're
Yeah.
talking about right here is what really brought me
This
to
is
the brink.
Yep, me too. Because that was the one thing that kept me hanging on with Baker is I could always come here and say, you know what, he's tough, he leads, and he's a good locker room guy. He talks well about the city of Cleveland. He represents the fans well. But all of that's out the window now because of the way he acted after that victory against the Lions.
Right.
He disrespected not only his teammates but the fans in a huge way.
He also disrespected the Lions.
I want to ask
Yeah.
an interesting question to all of us. Right?
Okay, go ahead.
If Baker walked in this studio right now, what would you say to his face?
Oh man.
Wow.
Thanks for I would honestly say thank you so much for coming here.
Well, first of all, that.
Like wow, it's amazing that a professional football player is coming to our studio.
But if somehow that all wasn't in contention, I would honestly
No,
have
but
I would have an honest conversation with him.
yeah, I wouldn't have a problem having him sit down and say what people are
Because
thinking.
maybe if we asked him these questions pointedly and specifically, he has answers. But
Yeah.
you never know until you ask.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We do got to get to a break, though. We're up against it right now. We're going to talk more Browns, so just stick around. We're going to continue the conversation right after Chirk takes us to commercial land.
Take us to commercial land, Jerk.
Would you trade $10 to get almost $10,000 in gift cards redeemable at hundreds of places around town? Of course you would. And how incredible would it be if a portion of that $10 was used to support some amazing nonprofits? Nonprofits like Awakening Angels, Beautiful Faces, Easter Seals, these nonprofits and more. You get to save money and nurture your community. Join us today at unitethiscity.com and embrace what makes our community different.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-778-1489. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-778-1489. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher for donating. Call now, 1-800-778-1489. That's 1-800-778-1489.
Hey guys, bow season's right around the corner, so get out to PJ's Custom Archery and Lapidary Shop. PJ's make custom bows to fit anyone. They also make takedown survival bows and flint knives as well. Ladies, PJ has custom-made jewelry. You'll find unique, one-of-a-kind bracelets, pendants, earrings, and much more. PJ is a real craftsman with an artistic lair. PJ only uses materials found or made in the USA. So hurry out to PJ's Custom Archery and Lapidary Shop, located at 112 Leonard Street in South Amherst, or call 440-986-0490.
Hey, it's Chirk the Berserker. You're in the Berserk box being a hard worker. We got James. Guess what? He knows all the names. Just sit back and relax. You got Unger to the max. This show will never get any lamer, because you can't find anybody as entertaining as Kramer. Now, AJ, he is the true fighter. You'll never meet anybody who is a better writer. In this show, you don't have to worry about lying, because we got a champ, and his name is Brian. Join us every Wednesday at 2 for authentic personalities, because All we'll just be dishing out is just the realities.
We are back, and we're going to continue our conversation right where it left off. So,
Baker in here, what are we saying to his face?
What happened to you? Like, because remember, in that 2018 season, he drafted #1 overall. And he comes in week 3 as a result of Tyrod Taylor getting injured. And he comes in, plays decently for that game.
Well, this is turning into a debate at this point.
What?
This is turning into this will be a heated segment on the podcast.
You want to hit that record scratch?
Nah, it was too late.
Too late.
I think specifically, though, I would just ask him right now, why didn't you do the press conference? I know he's already kind of answered, but I want a better answer.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do the press conference? Why is your wife speaking for you on social media?
Oh, God, yes.
Why are you letting division be sowed in the locker room?
My question would be like, what happened to your personality? It's like he went through some sort of change.
Yeah.
I'll be Baker here. He'll probably be like, yeah, that's just what happened, and it was just...
I mean, that's usually
his answer.
You're going to get a pretty generic answer no matter, because these guys get these questions all the time.
I just don't understand when the shift happened. That's what I would ask him, because he's always spoken very highly of the city, very highly of the fans. He's always said he wants to be here his whole career, but he's always had all of the right things to say about Cleveland and its fans. And then now, all of a sudden, the whole dichotomy between the fans and Baker has changed.
I'm not sure he'd be able to put an exact moment on it either.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, I would say it had to do with the realization this year that he's not going to get his contract.
Yeah.
When do you think he realized that?
A couple games ago. When it just became obvious that, if I really thought about it, probably the game before the Bengals game.
Oh, the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, when he just really realized, like, man, this is not going the way we want it to go.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. Is there's been at least 3 times this season that I can remember where we're down, but we're in a position to win in the final 2 minutes, and we said, okay, Baker, lead us on a 2-minute drive to go win us this game. It was week 1 at Kansas City, week 5, I believe it was, against the Chargers, week 8 against the Steelers, and he's 0 for 3.
Yeah, we would kind of be in our little chat that we have outside of the studio. We would talk during those games and be like, okay, here it is. Here's the moment. Here's where Baker, has a chance to come in and show that he's the guy. Like, this is it. And then he laid an egg. Yep. And then it would happen again, and we would get, here it is. Here's another chance. And it just won't happen.
Cycle.
The fact that he had the 3 different chances speaks a lot, because I don't expect any quarterback to be able to 100% always win in that moment. But you have to at least get some of them.
Exactly. You're not going to hit every single last-second shot if you're, like LeBron. He doesn't hit every time that the game comes down to him shooting the last-second shot. It doesn't always go in,
No.
And the same is true about quarterbacks. But the good ones separate themselves from the game managers in those situations. That's like in those 2-minute drives where the game is on the line. That's when that moxie or that stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, like that's where you really find out about those guys. And Baker has not shown that he can be a guy in the 2-minute to take over a game and win it. And to me, you can't justify giving him a franchise deal if he can't do that.
No, you can't. And he was the #1 overall pick. And he has been completely outplayed by Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Okay, but just to play the devil's advocate on this, and I know I came in on the other side, but I feel compelled just to say that the problem, though, is that is there ever a chance that we could have got somebody like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson in Cleveland? Is Baker the best Cleveland's ever going to get?
That's the real question. If it isn't going to come through the draft, are we ever going to be able to lure a guy like Aaron Rodgers here?
And our drafts, I mean, they don't exactly inspire confidence when you look at our past drafts.
No,
Not at all.
We drafted Justin Gilbert and Johnny Manziel. Are either of them still in the league?
I think a lot of time with the drafts, to be fair, it's hard to tell, too. I mean, Tom Brady's 7th-round pick. Who would have figured, that guy was going to become what he became?
Donovan McNabb, we passed on him. Nobody knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer.
A lot of people think this. They think, what do we need at this point in time? Not like who the best player is.
Right. I mean, the only reason I would push back on that, Chirk, is there are times where, not just with the NFL draft, but like with the NBA draft, there could be a player that a team just really needs. But
like DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, but they go with best player available.
Yeah. Well, here's my question to you guys: is if it is going to be done through the draft, are there any quarterbacks in college right now that you're excited about? Because to me, there's none. I don't think you could justify taking any of them. And here's the problem: the window for winning a Super Bowl in the NFL is so small, and for the Browns, it's open right now. We talked about this before the year began. It was like this is their window of opportunity.
You're not going to be able to keep all these guys.
You're not going to keep all these guys. So they need, if they're going to change from Baker, so with you playing devil's advocate a little bit, I'm kind of going to the same place with this. It's like, okay, well, when do we make the replacement, and where's it going to come from?
Yeah,
because
you need a plan.
You need some sort of plan, and we don't have it right now.
Failure to plan, we've seen how that works out. You end up, cycling through 20 different quarterbacks in 15 years.
Exactly.
Right.
So if
almost got A.J. McCarron.
So if we're going to move on from Baker, they need to start figuring it out right now. They need to start putting together the trade or whatever it's going to be that's going to get that guy here. I hope that they're working on it now. If they are planning on moving on from.
I think they are, and I think that they want to, and they're trying to.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wonder if it's almost impossible. Because how many big name players are really going to accept a trade to Cleveland?
Here's where I agree with James from what he was saying last week's show. Like Derek Carr seemed like the only real possibility for me, and I'm sorry, but I'm not as excited about Derek Carr coming to Cleveland as he seemed to have been.
I mean, I'm not super excited.
You know what I mean?
But I'd
like
probably
that's
take
not
him over Baker. The way they both played this.
If you've got them standing next to each other and you're picking in gym class, you're going to take the other guy. But like,
we're gonna
talking
see
realistically, like if that's the best
he's
that
not
we
a
can get,
No.
he's not going to take the team and immediately send it into the next level. He's not. So it's like is it going to be Rodgers or bust, or who's it going to be? They need to get their eyes on someone, and they need to make it happen. And I don't know that Cleveland's an attractive enough destination to make it happen.
Or the other option is you keep Baker, all right, and you accept who he is and what he's capable of, and you really start changing the game plan. You really start trying to get other better supporting characters around him, which is going to be harder to do, though, after you pay Baker. But I'm just trying to think, is there any way that you can move forward with Baker? Because we might have to.
Yeah, you might be right on that.
Should we just go with Case Keenum Magic?
No, Case Keenum
not as a starter.
He didn't look very good in his game either.
Yeah, but he might be our best option right now, though, because of how
because of the injuries and limitations that Baker has right now. Maybe
exactly.
Yeah,
but it's still not a long-term answer.
Magic,
no,
right.
I'm not suggesting that Case Keenum is the long-term answer by any stretch of the imagination.
It might give us a better look at what Baker's really. If you give Baker the chance to get healthy, that takes away one of his last excuses.
Well, Keenum just has that like Nick Foles, Joe Flacco type of energy to me.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe like Trent Dilfer.
You're losing me a little bit on that one.
Maybe like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, yeah. So my thing is though is when the Browns run their game the way they want to run it, when everybody's healthy, what do they want to do? They want to pound the ball. They want to control time of possession. And Baker only needs to not make mistakes.
And it's hard to tell.
We've looked, but have we not looked really, really good in some of those games?
The few times we pulled it off.
the few times where we had a healthy line and a healthy Nick Chubb and a healthy Kareem Hunt, and Baker just was a game manager. Like the team looked great. We were winning those games big and convincingly.
And he was making the passes too.
Right. So if that's the game, if we can get everybody healthy and go back to that game plan, I think that's the most realistic chance this team has of going anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't know how you get back to that game plan because Baker seems to have lost that swagger. We're always injured, and again, as I said on the Sports Generals earlier when talking about the Cavs, you never want to use injuries as an excuse.
Right, everybody has injuries.
It starts with the run game.
100%.
You just got to get the run game going. Anytime Baker, even to get that swag going again, it's because we've had success on the ground.
Exactly. The only reason we beat Detroit is because Nick Chubb was there.
Yeah, Nick Chubb had a game.
If we didn't have Nick Chubb, we lose to the line.
100%. Mm-hmm. And I wonder when
there was chances we had. I want to say right now, one of the people that saved the game was Denzel Ward.
Explain.
The interception he had.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
I mean, the Lions' offense wasn't exactly inspiring.
No, I was more worried about their defense.
I was more worried about their defense making a play, too. But I get what you're saying. Denzel Ward made some big plays in the past couple games that kept the team in it.
Is his contract coming up?
I believe so.
That's why he's doing so good. It makes sense.
Yeah.
At least that's what you would think.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really concerned with this Browns team getting ready to play Baltimore at Baltimore and then take this bye week and then come back and play Baltimore again.
Yeah.
Like, this could be looking a lot different in 3 or 4 weeks.
Right. Well, it could be looking a lot worse, obviously, is I'd say the higher probability, but there's also the chance it could be looking a lot better.
All we got to do is win one of those.
Yeah, win one of them, and I think you come out looking okay.
Yeah.
How's Hunt looking? Does anybody know? Is he coming back anytime soon?
I heard he might play this season.
Because I thought I heard a couple weeks ago that he was like a couple weeks away.
Right.
Yeah, I remember them saying that he was a couple weeks away too. So he's got to be close. Let's see if.
Because I think you really need to get him back and get back to that two-headed beast, running game that we've had so much success with.
The problem is, I feel like when he does come back, he's going to be limited in the amount of plays because he will have just come back.
Yeah, but then you still got Dearness Johnson.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, like, your main...
I love Hunt, though, in those...
Third down.
End zone.
Yeah.
In the third down or in the end zone. When you need somebody to barrel past.
Yep.
He has that power.
Yeah,
right,
he does.
I agree.
Yeah, I think getting him back, if we can win one of these games, we'll be looking as good as we could possibly look.
I mean, especially like when you look at what we've been through in some of these games, if we win one, lose one, and you look at where we would be, you would not have thought.
Yeah, we'll still be right in the mix.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that was a possibility.
Right.
All right, so great discussion, but we got to go to commercial land. When we come back, we are talking about possible NFL expansion.
Stick around.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
and in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today...
The only thing I didn't learn today...
The only thing I didn't learn...
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So be careful out there. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hey, there he is. How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand or what? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. Are you okay? I'm having a stroke. Your face looks weird, too. I'm having a stroke. Are you having a seizure or something? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, Time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs: face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, yo, this is Kramer, the big man with the big mind, the big opinions, and the even bigger mouth. And you're tuning back in with So What's the Catch on All Sports Cleveland.
Welcome back to So What's the Catch here on All Sports Cleveland through NorthCoastUnderground.com at the Ohio Media School.
Shout out.
Shout out.
In Valley View, in Ohio, in these United States.
It's like a KFC inside of a Taco Bell, inside of a shopping mall.
All right, so on the other side of the break, we talked about how there might be a possible NFL expansion. So I'm looking at an article from Pro Football Talk, which from NBC Sports. So take that with a grain of salt, or however,
They're a legitimate organization.
Oh, you're taking shots at CBS?
Yeah, Pro Football Talk is solid.
Not CBS, NBC.
No, Pro Football Talk's good. Go ahead.
I like Pro Football
Move on with it.
Anyway, so it's talking about how there could be a possible expansion to 40 teams on the horizon in the NFL.
32 to 40?
That's how I feel about it.
Is San Diego coming back, number one? They're going to have...
So real quick, how's everybody... yes or no for expansion? I say no.
Expand?
Yeah,
It depends
I mean, if they're bringing back San Diego, if they're bringing back Oakland, if they're bringing back...
St. Louis.
St. Louis, if they put a Canadian team, maybe one in Toronto.
Okay, you just definitely took me off the idea. Like, I was sitting on the fence, but no, I'm kind of with Brian. I prefer what we have. I don't think... One thing that's kind of included with this idea that I think would be cool is they're talking about also expanding the season to 18 games.
Yeah.
If they can get the Players Association to agree.
So the sales pitch didn't work on you?
No, I do not want no Canadian football
Why,
teams.
once they said Toronto, you said no?
Because I don't want to watch
They have the
Canadians play
Argonauts.
football.
They have the Argonauts. They play their own brand of football up there. I have a huge problem with this, and I have a few reasons why.
Is it more...
They merged the Canadian League?
No.
Is it the number of teams that they would be jumping to, or is it just the general idea of expansion?
The general idea of going beyond 32, I really do not like, and here's why. Because look at how many teams do not have a legitimate starting quarterback. Like, how many starting quarterbacks are there on this earth who are capable of leading a football team in the NFL to the playoffs? There aren't that many. So you're going to have a lot of teams with really bad quarterbacks, and if you don't have a good quarterback, it's going to be ugly. And if they're expansion teams, it's going to be hard for them to get going. So it's like you're talking about adding 8 more franchises that are going to be trying to build their way to the top from the bottom, and it's like there's not enough talent to go around. Like,
I didn't think about it that way.
There's just not. The quality of play would be terrible.
We already have a hard time finding. We're stretched thin on talent along a lot of teams. So I guess that would.
There's already a huge disparity between Team 1 and Team 32.
You would have to accept a lower average of play.
Yeah.
Like, you would have to start, because you would have to fill out the rosters, start bringing in players who aren't quite as skilled, and the overall play would definitely lower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm okay with expansion, but maybe not 40. Like, a couple teams. Like, the most obvious would be, for me, Oakland, no, but St. Louis and San Diego. Those two cities never should have lost the Rams or Chargers. So
get them back.
So that's where I would be okay with expansion to bring just those two cities back into the NFL. But
ain't my city, ain't my problem. That's how I'm looking at it. I just don't want to see the quality of play for the entire league decrease.
We got another team in Cleveland,
and it's gonna water down the league. It's gonna create a bigger.
What about if we get another team in Cleveland?
No.
Come on.
Yeah.
Kramer.
Let's try to get this one that we got into the playoffs before we worry about that.
How about a team here in Valley View?
Goodness.
Hey. Columbus?
Columbus would be a possibility.
Columbus is a good football town.
Or Toledo?
It's a good market. Not Toledo. No. That's
I
too
could
close
see
to
Columbus.
Detroit. I could see Columbus getting one. I wouldn't
But
have
what
a
they're
huge problem
talking
with that.
about in here isn't anything like that. They're talking about London and
London
everything.
and
Yeah.
Vancouver and like all these
Toronto.
different Mexico City. Like, come on. Like, it's just
now I
getting
see
too-
where the 8 expansion teams come from.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, like St. Louis, Oakland, San Diego. Like St. Louis and the Rams are actually like in a whole court dispute right now
Yeah.
because of the Rams leaving and the way Kroenke went about doing it. Like St. Louis completely supported the Rams, and what Stan Kroenke basically did is he got rid of all his great players to make the Rams into a bad team.
Just to move them.
Yeah.
It was literally Major League in the NFL.
Yeah, that's exactly what
it
you
was,
just made me
It was
think
the
of.
plot of Major League playing out in the NFL.
Yeah, it's
Great
like,
movie.
it's
Pretty
like-
pretty crappy reality.
It is a great
It's
movie,
like-
but crappy reality.
it's
You're
like,
right about
I'm
that.
gonna get rid of all the good players, make the team really bad so that the city doesn't care, and then say, hey, NFL, I'm moving the team, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's the other problem is that good owners are few and far between, and you're talking about 8 new billionaires coming into the mix who are all probably rich old white dudes that have terrible politics and terrible opinions about things, and
They
I
probably
don't
don't know
it's
anything
just,
about the athletes.
Yeah, no, not
real.
the disconnect is just
They're out of touch.
they're very very out of touch.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you don't have too many billionaires who know a lot about football.
No.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, I definitely agree with you even more now, Brian, on all your points.
Yeah.
I love
I think it would
football,
make
man.
for an ugly product.
Yeah, I'm all for more football. Like if you want to add an 18th game,
I
and
like
drop
adding
the
the
preseason
games.
game.
I like
sure.
adding more playoff. I'm
Yeah,
good with all
I'm
that.
good with all that,
But I
too.
think I got to stop it at teams.
I know we
Yep.
say this, but how do you think the players feel?
Yeah.
I mean, for a
Probably don't
player,
want another game.
you might actually, what I'm thinking of from a player's perspective, you might like the idea of more teams because you're going to have more opportunities to land roster spots.
Yeah.
You won't have to be quite as good to
Right.
get a roster spot.
And the other thing...
And more money, too.
Right. That's part of it. But the other thing I was thinking was when these teams like go to these cities, they probably like I don't know if they really do this, but they probably have the opportunity to go out and see the city a little bit that they're playing in, and
I'm sure they do. They probably try to.
Mostly a business trip.
The cities probably try to sell it to them because they get their
no,
benefit.
I mean like
Most of the times it's a business trip doing those trips.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean like when the Mavericks, for example, come to play the Cavs, maybe they. I know that's NBA, but I'm just using it as an example type of thing. Like, I know they have to play a game, but maybe they get time to go walk around Cleveland.
Yeah, my other thing too is if they're adding 8 more teams and 8 more cities, there's a good chance that those 8 cities are going to be more attractive destinations to go to than Cleveland. You know what I mean? When you look at the opportunities and the places they're discussing, all of the places that they're discussing are more attractive destinations to live in than Cleveland.
Oh, they're not putting anything.
So it just
And
it
feels
puts us
like-
a bit further down on
Yeah,
the
it
list.
feels like to me like they want to get sports out of Cleveland already.
I feel the same way. I think that
Explain that.
there's a lot going on with the Guardians.
So the
and-
Guardian situation is part of what I'm talking about right now. The whole fact of it being held up in the I forget what it's called,
Yeah.
but city council.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
The stuff about them renewing the lease, there was drama around that. That still hasn't been
And then-
okayed.
With the Browns and the Cavs both being as bad as they've been the past couple of years, I just hear more and more talk from pundits, sports people, even national people talking about when is this team going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Yeah, to me, it's going to add more cities that are more attractive destinations, and Cleveland's going to be farther down the list than they already are. Another thing is like the good thing about the NFL is like that the divisions are small. You know, like you can go from worst to first in a division pretty quickly because they're so small. With more teams, it's going to be harder for the last place team to climb to the top of that division.
That's true.
So it's going to be even less parity. It's going to be more of the same great teams making it in.
Like the Steelers, the Packers,
and the gap between those and the rest of us is just going to grow, and we're just going to have more teams that are 2-16 if they go to 18 games.
Yeah, that's true. I forget what I was going to say now. Never mind.
That's okay. But yeah, I mean, that's That's really my thing with it.
Yeah.
It's just that the talent gets watered down, the product gets watered down, and I just don't. I would like football where it's at right now. I already think that some of the bottom teams in the league are unwatchable, so to think of adding
Jets.
8 more of those teams, it's just like, ugh. It wouldn't be good for business in my opinion.
Actually, huh?
Oh, the Jets?
Yeah, they're unwatchable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
But I remember what I was going to say. With the divisions, some of them just don't geographically make sense anyway.
That's true too.
Like
yeah.
Dallas is not anywhere near the East.
Yeah.
And yet they're in
that's the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happened. They when back in the day, I think they split it up a little differently. I think there was 5 divisions on each conference or whatever.
The conference is real, divisional realignments have always happened.
Teams.
Yeah, it seems like every 10 to 15 years there's some kind of realignment.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins should not be in the AFC East either.
You think they should be in the AFC South?
Yes, and I think the Colts should also be in the North.
Thank you!
Yeah.
I have been asking for that for years. I want the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC North. Every time I bring that up, James, feel better, buddy, by the way. But
shout out.
He always is shutting that down when I try to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't like it either because I think they're a better organization than the Browns, and I don't want to have to compete with one more.
This is what we make the AFC North.
That's a good point, Brian.
That's my only thing
All right,
with
let's
it.
hear your AFC North.
AFC North should be Cleveland Browns, Miami, the Jets.
I like this.
And
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville. And then that's acceptable.
I like that. I like the thought of that one.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I get what you guys are saying. Geographically, it'd make perfect sense to have them in our division, but in my eyes, they're a far better franchise, and I don't like the idea of competing with another franchise that's better than the one we
The
have
other
here.
reason I would want Indianapolis in the division is it would create new rivalries, and
I'm good.
I don't think we need new rivalries with this division.
And our division's already rough.
It's already a juggernaut.
If
of
we
a
were
division.
in other divisions, there are other divisions we could look better in right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Not
I agree.
the AFC North and not the AFC West.
I would
Both those are too competitive.
Yeah, I would actually argue that at this present time, the Browns-Ravens rivalry is bigger than Browns-Steelers. That's my opinion, but we can't really talk about that.
You just drop that bomb and then go to commercial, huh?
That was smart of him to do that, by the way.
Yeah, we gotta go to commercial end.
Take it away, Chert.
I actually agree with you on that one, Josh.
Thank you!
It's not too early to talk to your child about drinking. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You've never experienced anything like this before. From insight to comedy to whatever Chirk Berserk is doing. This is So What's the Catch on All Sports Cleveland.
Welcome back to So What's the Catch here on All Sports Cleveland on NorthCoastUnderground.com from the Ohio Media School. In Valley View, Ohio.
In Valley View, Ohio, in these United States
of America.
America!
F yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Wait, was that uncensored?
Yeah, FCC won't let me be, so I censored that.
Yeah.
Well, let me be me, so let me see.
So,
yes.
After that NFL discussion where I dropped the bombshell, we are going to move on so nobody can respond to that.
That's a good move.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
100% wrong, so onward.
Onward and upward.
Onward and upward.
And so we are talking about what?
What are we talking about?
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey, Josh's favorite franchise.
Yes, they are my favorite team in all of sports.
I believe they're Chirks as well,
they
aren't
lost
they?
every single game so far.
Chirk, are you a bigger Cavs fan than Browns?
Both of them.
They're most definitely my least favorite of any Ohio team.
Mine
and I
too.
mean any Ohio team. Like the women's roller derby guardians, I put over Cavs.
Oh wow!
The name of the Cavaliers because it doesn't make sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense.
Were there
Nothing
Cavaliers in Cleveland?
No, but I mean,
Anyway,
that's just what they do with teams. They name them after things.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But they're currently 9-9 on the season.
Yeah.
They've lost 3 in a row, but to be 9-9, 18 games into the season.
What was the record last week when we were talking about this? Does anybody remember?
How much did we lose by against the Warriors?
It was a close game until the end.
It was close, and
Yeah.
you brought it right to where I wanted to go anyway, because at one point in that game, I think with about 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, we had a 22-9 lead on the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, here's where I'm gonna kind of sound a little bit hypocritical, because I said before, you can't use injuries as an excuse.
And now you're going to use injuries as an excuse.
You can more so in basketball because the rosters are smaller.
Right.
So it's a bigger percentage
Well,
of the team.
I mean, basketball and baseball, just with the difference in schedule.
Sure,
I can accept it a little bit more.
Okay, but the thing is, when we played the Warriors, about half of our roster was injured in some way, whether it was due to COVID protocols or a legit injury or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are in that situation, you have to ride your starters for 40+ minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're somebody like, say, LeBron James or Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, somebody like
Steph Curry,
somebody like that, it's not going to work. And I think that's the main reason we lost that game against the Warriors.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I'm not guaranteeing that we would have won, but I think we would have had more of a chance.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. And the thing too, like, yeah, we are on a 3-game losing streak, but when you look at who we've played and the way the games have gone, they've been close games and it's been good teams. So, I'm not all too worried because of this three-game skid. I'm more worried about what Josh was saying with the injuries. Can we get the whole team healthy, and can they sustain that for an entire season? Because they're way outperforming everybody's expectations right now at 9-9, but they have a really difficult part of their schedule coming up in December, and they've got a lot of guys out, so it's just not good timing.
We just got back Jared Allen, we just got back Larry Market, and we recently got back Kevin Love, but Colin Sexton's done for the year.
Right.
But maybe that's a good thing. Well, I think it's too early.
The Jared Allen one is really affecting us.
Jared Allen just came back on Monday against Brooklyn, but you're right. That was a big loss in the time he was out.
Yeah, I agree. He was playing his best ball.
Yeah, but
he was like getting rebound records.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the injury that really hurts us, no pun intended there, is Evan Mobley, because I thought he was well on his. Before he got injured, I thought he was well on his way to getting Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say that he's been the most important Cav so far this season.
Yeah.
I think his play and like the role that he's had in this offense as a rookie, like it's just been way beyond what I had expected from him. I mean, I thought he was going to be a good player, but I didn't think that he would be this good this quickly.
Him and Garland have developed quite the chemistry.
Yes, they have, and it's really encouraging. And the fact that this team is 9-9, it blows my mind still. After a 3-game losing streak, we're still 500. You know,
I don't know a lot about basketball. I usually stay quiet on these, but last week I know we were talking about this, and we had talked about where the Cavs' record was then, and that's all I wanted to know is since then, what was the actual record?
They were like 9-6 at that point.
So so we just had like a 6-game road stretch then?
We had a 4-game homestand.
We're on a 4-game homestand right now. We've played 2 of those games.
Yeah.
The third game is tonight against the Phoenix Suns, or as you like to say it, the Pahonix.
Pahonix.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is since last week, how many games have been played?
3.
3. And what is our record in those?
0-3.
0-3. So we did end up going on a heck of a losing streak then.
Yeah, in the past week, we haven't. But like, we were saying, they were close games. They were good teams. Not bad losses at any stretch of the imagination.
We would have been right. We were right there with the Warriors for about 3.5 quarters, and then Steph Curry happened. And once Steph Curry happens, good luck slowing him down.
Right. Yeah, we need. You could tell with missing Sexton that the offense is missing something.
Yeah,
because we're not scoring a lot of points.
Is it missing another center?
That's the problem.
No, we're not going to Taco Fall.
This is what we need.
They've been playing.
We need him. That's why we've been losing all the games. He's not been getting enough minutes. He had that one free throw, and that was it. I know it's not hour 2 yet. We got like about 8 minutes.
I mean, it's not weird. It's pretty on brand for sure.
Yeah,
that's true.
Chirk, that's pretty on brand with you. But here's what I would suggest for the Cavs. I don't think they need to make any drastic changes or go out and
skipping over Taco.
Go out and sign like any major free agents. It doesn't seem like this happens very often, and I'm not sure why. But we have a G League affiliate who plays right next door practically at Liechtenstein Center.
And you know who's on that?
The Cleveland Charge. Yeah, I know, Taco's there, but why not call up like some of the players from the Charge possibly? Like I went to a Cleveland Charge game this season, and according to the mascot, me and a couple buddies now are, I guess, Charge super fans.
Oh, nice. You're a super fan of the Cleveland Charge.
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't know, but
you wear that badge with honor.
Yeah, but Kyle Guy, who's a guard, went off for 33 points in that game.
So does that mean we should sign him?
Maybe.
Wait, is he a shooting guard or a point guard?
Shooting guard.
Yes, that's exactly what we need.
So
we need a true shooting guard. How tall is he?
Like 6'5" ish.
That's perfect.
I'd have to check on this. Check it.
I mean, I think this is what we're missing is a shooting guard on the Cavs. That's like one of the big holes we've been having for a while.
What I would like to see is maybe we call up Kyle Guy. You move, possibly put him right into the starting lineup. Have Garland at point guard, because I think that's where he's better suited.
Okoro.
Kyle Guy at shooting guard. Possibly Okoro at small forward. I need to see a little bit more out of him first before definitively putting him in.
So rotate?
Yeah.
He plays good defense.
Yeah,
though.
he does, but his offense is
we don't need him for offense.
And then obviously Mobley at power forward and
Allen at center.
Correct.
Yep.
What do you think? Do you think that's
a good lineup?
I mean, I don't know enough about this Kyle Guy to make a comment on him. I've never seen him play. I don't know his numbers.
He was a guard at for that 2019 Virginia team that won the national championship.
Oh, okay, I think I might know who you're talking about then now.
This could turn into an Abbott and Costello joke real easy. Like, hey, you know that one Kyle guy?
One guy, yeah.
What's his last name?
I ain't
You know,
sure
Kyle Guy.
That guy. He is
Who's
that guy.
But before we...
I ain't your buddy, guy.
I ain't your friend, pal.
I ain't your friend,
In the
pal.
final 3 minutes that we have on this segment, we're not talking Houston Rockets.
Come on.
No.
What's there to say about them?
Let's get into it.
Okay, tell us about Houston. They've won one game.
They're 1-16. Didn't you want to talk about LeBron against Isaiah Stewart?
Yeah. What about that, Chirk?
I'd much rather
You
talk
had a lot
about
to say about that.
If that's all right with you, Chirk.
I love LeBron, but I gotta call him out.
Ooh.
He did that on purpose.
What?
Ooh, Chirk thinks he did it on purpose. Okay, initially when I saw the video, I said that was a punk move by LeBron. I thought it was intentional completely, and I thought it was a cheap shot. But upon further review,
the on the field stands.
I didn't realize that that Stewart did put his forearm sort of into LeBron's face as he was boxing him out. And upon further review, it looks to me like he was just trying to shake him off of himself. Yeah. And LeBron's just such a freakishly strong dude that like it drew blood, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it on purpose anymore. And I kind of wish that he did because I don't like LeBron.
So
you don't like
I want to say bad things about LeBron, but I actually kind of have his back on this one. I think a 1-game suspension and a flagrant 2 was the right call.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks that his 1-game suspension was the Lakers' trip to Madison Square Garden.
Right. And there's argument to be made too. If it was someone other than LeBron, you know, what would their penalty have been? You know?
And how
here's
do you feel
the thing:
about
I don't think there would have been any type of suspension for LeBron had Isaiah Stewart not
responded the way he did. I still think he would have because of the way that he drew blood. You know, like
I don't think so.
Whenever there's stitches involved in basketball, like that's a foul that's got to be called.
If you noticed in the video or however you watched it, Stewart didn't he didn't go after LeBron right away. It wasn't until he noticed the blood that's when he got riled up, and people are calling this malice at the palace too. No,
No, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the way that Stewart acted. He did the thing that all tough guys do, like I'm fine, like while everybody's holding him back. I'm good, I'm done. And then as soon as they let go, he just starts running at him again.
Yeah.
I loved watching that. That was a fun little back and forth between him and his teammates.
Here's the one.
But I don't have a problem with a guy getting pissed that a dude took a cheap shot at him.
Oh, I'm not saying I have an issue with him doing what he did. Well, to a certain extent, I have a little bit of an issue with it. But overall, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think LeBron would have gotten suspended if Stewart didn't have the reaction he had.
Okay, agree to disagree on that one, but we are up against another commercial break. Chirk's going to take us away to commercial land. When we get back, we're going to be talking about dream games and stadiums. Stick around for that.
This is where things get weird.
Oh yeah, hour 2. Things are about to get weird. Stick around.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said, "Only you can prevent wildfires." But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when it's dry or windy. Be careful burning yard waste, because wildfires can even start in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When Frank De Lorenzo returned home from Iraq, things did not go smoothly. De Lorenzo was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and a traumatic brain injury. But De Lorenzo found an unusual solution: Sophie. Sophie is a pit bull rescued from the Cleveland kennel. With proper training, Sophie can now remind De Lorenzo when to take his medication, wake him from his nightmares, and essentially watch his back. With all the success De Lorenzo had with Sophie, he decided to start Wags for Warriors, a nonprofit-based organization in Northeast Ohio started to help servicemen and women that have been affected by their combat experience. They work with local rescue organizations to match the veteran with an appropriate dog and provide all the training and support with no cost to the veteran. To find out how you can support Wags for Warriors, call 330-285-3941. Again, that number is 330-285-3941.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
Hour 2 on So What's the Catch is when things get weird. Here on All Sports Cleveland.
All right, we are back and we are live.
Where things get weird, hour 2.
Yes, it is hour 2.
Back to the Houston Rockets.
What?
Anyway, we digress already.
Yeah, welcome.
So, Josh, tell us a little bit about this segment you have cooked up for us here.
So,
I tried.
That's what you get.
I wish I had that.
Anyway, so for this segment, I thought it would be fun to. Okay. Yeah, this is hour 2. Welcome to the Weird Hour.
The wheels have fallen off. Completely fallen off.
Y'all ever gone cow tipping? I haven't. I'm just curious.
I have not, but I want to.
Yeah, I feel like that would be
All right,
all right, Trick, that's enough.
All right. I'll chill.
That's it.
All right. So for this segment, I thought it would be fun to talk about like what stadiums are. I was gonna use the word bucket list, but that sounded a little more
morbid.
Yeah, that sounded a little morbid. So I'm like, how about dream list? So like, what games are on your dream list? What stadiums are on your dream list? And then, like, if you go back in time and attend a game, what game would that be? That type of thing.
I like it. Well, I've been to my dream stadium for my dream game. I just want to go back and see a W this time.
You're talking about the game.
Talking about the game in Ann Arbor, Michigan, yes.
Okay.
The big house. But okay, so let's take that off of the list, obviously.
All right.
So I would say I'm a big baseball history nerd. I would want to go to old Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park. Never been to Fenway, and Wrigley. I've never been to Wrigley.
Neither have I.
So those are the big stadiums that I would say I want to go to. In terms of like historically, like any old games or anything like that.
Any sport.
I'd say like I'd want to see Super Bowl I, and I'd want to see like, let's see.
And I mean like attending these games in person.
Right. In our time, we can use a time machine, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd say I'd want to go back to like Super Bowl I. I want to see like the first one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the old stadiums, even Municipal. I never got to make it to Municipal. I was too young when that stadium was abandoned. So yeah, I'd like to go back in time, see one of those games at Municipal. I would have loved to have been there in 95 and 97 for some of those World Series games, and I didn't get to go to any of those. So I'd go back in time for those as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree on Muni. I definitely would have liked to have been back for like a game in the mid '80s at the Muni lot, like when it was really in the swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
Either the World Series, even though the way they ended, those were just historical games.
Mm-hmm.
Also, though, just because like I'm a history buff, I wouldn't mind going back. It was like in 1919 or the 20s, but whatever year they had the Black Sox scandal with the baseball. I just think that would have been interesting to watch and kind of see how it played out.
Have you ever seen 8 Men Out, real quick?
No, I haven't.
That is about that scandal. It's a really good baseball movie. Check it out.
Yeah, I've read some books on it. It was just a crazy time.
It might be a book first. I don't know. But 8 Men Out, great movie. It's about that.
Based on what you know about the Black Sox, who, as of right now, which do you think is the bigger cheating scandal, the Black Sox or what Houston did?
Oh, Black Sox. I mean, it was a complete throwing of an entire World Series.
Yeah. The only arguments to be made would be for like guys like Shoeless Joe Jackson. Like, did he really throw it? When you look at his numbers in that World Series, like he performed very well. But yeah, I recommend that anybody that's interested in that Black Sox scandal, watch the movie 8 Men Out. It tells the story really well, and it's just a good movie.
Okay.
I think another one for me though would be Lambeau. I would love to go to Lambeau.
Yeah, I should add that to mine too.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Did
see
you say
it.
the Milwaukee State? No, never mind.
No, what were you going to say?
Which one? The one that Wilt played in?
I was about to talk about the Milwaukee Stadium in Green Bay, but
Oh, I remember. I've heard about that. That Packers did used to play in Milwaukee.
I honestly did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I've always just associated them with their current Lambeau
Right,
Field.
that's where everybody associates.
I would have wanted to be in 1992 or 3 when the Cavs were in the Eastern Conference Finals at Richfield Coliseum.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I do have
Many
another.
people forget this. Like, I know that was not the shot where Jordan hit on Craig Elo. It was like it was actually the time the Cavs were actually closer to a championship.
Are you talking about the miracle at Richfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Jeremy had one
Were
more.
they in like the early 90s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the Super Bowl, but it was, the NFL or whatever it was then championship back the last time that Cleveland won a championship.
Oh, 1964.
Yeah,
that
go
would have been
back,
a good game.
see some of them Jim Brown
Alright.
domination games.
So-
That'd be sweet.
And I think like it would be interesting to go back there and talk to some of those fans of that Browns and like try to clue them in and be like where we're at now and just see if their mind explode.
Yeah,
Because I don't think
sure.
anybody would have predicted that in the dominant 60s for the Browns.
Yeah.
So, for me, it would be the 2016 NBA Finals because of how terrified I was of the Cavs intro at that point. I refused to attend the games because I felt like they were going to add some extra shenanigans during the intro. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to deal with that.
Not interested.
No. And
Gotcha.
because I just would have been too terrified and, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And, now I'm handling the Cavs intro just fine, and I've developed, ways of coping with it. So, being that I'm armed with that type of thing, I would love to be able to go back to the 2016 NBA Finals and be like, okay, I have this coping mechanism. I know what I can do, so I can actually experience that because, who knows the next time we're going to get to go to the NBA Finals.
If ever.
So I'm sorry.
And then the other, for me, in terms of another game that I would go back to, Super Bowl 42.
Which one was that? I don't know.
Where
off
the
top of my
Giants
head.
upset the Patriots 17-14 with the David Tyree catch.
The bubble gum on his helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to be there, and see that play would be amazing.
What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
I was just thinking as I sit here and look through this Packers history, which I really didn't know a lot of this, Chirk, so this is really interesting to me. I would have loved to have seen some of these early games, though. From 1925 to the 50s, the Packers played in a 25,000-seat high school arena, school football field.
That's so cool.
And then they actually moved to the Milwaukee County Stadium, which was the big twice the capacity of the high school.
That's
so they doubled it,
Yeah.
and then they finally realized that football was a little bit bigger than that and built Lambeau.
Right.
But yeah, some interesting history there.
Do you know why they're called the Packers?
I don't know why they're called Packers. No.
It's because of the Acme Meat Packing Company.
Mm.
So they're named after so they're called the Packers. At one point...
Has nothing to do with fudge.
Nope.
Okay, just curious.
In the 90s, I got into Brett Favre. Like, I just loved watching him play. He's actually kind of a trash human, but I didn't realize that till later.
Yeah.
But then, like, after that, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep liking the Packers after he retired, and then Aaron Rodgers came along, and that team's been really cool.
Yeah, I like that organization too. My all-time, like, my dream game for the future, like, what my all-time dream would be is just Michigan football in a national championship game anywhere. I don't care. Ideally, like, in one of those cool new stadiums, like somewhere like LA or like something like that. But yeah, Michigan, if they ever make the national championship game, I'm dropping whatever I'm doing and I'll sell all of my things to get there.
Would you sell your organs?
I would. Yeah, I'd definitely.
If he doesn't need them,
yeah. Even if I need them, I'd probably give a.
Well, I mean, I don't think you'd be able to watch the game then.
Well, yeah. We could make some kind of arrangement where I get to see the game before they take it. But yeah, I'd give up a kidney for that for sure. Right. For sure, I'd trade a kidney for a ticket.
What is your, like, this is a game I need to attend? It could be, you can...
Any team, any sport, any arena.
Of the in 2016.
Okay.
That was a game that I would have loved to attend.
You know what? I'm not surprised that none of us brought up soccer, but...
I was just about to. I was about to say that Italy-France Zinedine Zidane headbutt game. I'd love to go back and watch that World Cup event in person.
What I was actually going to say is the Manchester Derby.
Oh, yeah. Man City and Man U.
Yeah, I would love to see.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, the best one in all of Europe, though, is El Clasico.
Oh, Barcelona.
Yeah, Barca Real Madrid is the ultimate derby.
I feel like that game or match, however you say it in soccer, I get confused about it, took a bit of a hit when Lionel Messi left to go to PSG, and now Ronaldo's with, I think
Ronaldo's with Man U.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do Olympics count?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one, too.
The German Olympics in the 30s.
Oh, that's a good one.
Where Jesse Owens won
in front of Hitler.
Yeah, in front of Hitler. That would have been
that's
cool.
badass.
And he put the fist up afterwards, right?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I'd like to go see.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. My other future dream would be I've always wanted to go to a World Cup and just cover the World Cup. So, like, as a career, like, my dream career assignment would be to be sent to whatever the country of choice is for 30 days to cover the entire World Cup. That is my ultimate dream.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never thought of you as being like a major soccer fan.
I love international soccer. Love the United States men's national team. Manchester United is my favorite club team. And yeah, I follow European soccer regularly. I love watching the Champions League. I always watch the Champions League final. And the Euro Cup is awesome. Euro Cup, World Cup, any of those events. I'd love to go to one of those tournaments for the whole tournament and just go from game to game. That'd be so cool.
If I had to pick a soccer team, I guess it would be Chelsea, but I wouldn't even say I'm like a fan. I like loosely follow them.
Yeah, I'm okay with Chelsea because of Pulisic, but
I couldn't tell you one player on their team.
Other than Christian Pulisic?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, they got a good squad. That's another London team too, so they've got the London derbies, you know. There's like 7 or 8 Premier League teams right there in London, so.
But we digress.
We gotta go to commercial land.
Take us to commercial land, Chirk.
On it.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hour 2 on So.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
You wanted the best? Well, too bad. You're stuck with us. It's So What's the Catch on All Sports Cleveland.
And to put that in the
All right, we are back and we are live. It's hour 2. Things have already gotten weird.
They got weird with that mess up right there.
Yeah, that's all good though. It's hour 2. It's to be expected. We're going to talk a little more NFL football because why not?
Strongsville versus Menor.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Chirk. You're doing good. Don't get hard on yourself.
Great job there.
Just roll with the
We love you, Chirk. You know that.
Okay, so what do we got for this NFL discussion?
You're
here,
over there in your Chirk box, dude.
Oh.
That's your home.
Are you too good for your home?
No, anyway. So, it feels like the AFC East is kind of restoring order, if you will. Where the Patriots are coming back.
Okay.
So, would you say that, based on what's happened so far this season, is this a New England resurgence, or would you say this is more of a Buffalo collapse?
I'm going to give credit instead of taking credit away. So I'm going to give credit to the Pats for what they're doing. I think that they found a guy that looks like he, can be their quarterback going forward. They're playing great. They're getting hot and looking like a Bill Belichick team again. Buffalo's had a couple tough losses, but their season's kind of going a lot like Cleveland's season. But I still think that the Bills control their own destiny. I still think they're going to win that division, and I still think that they're going to contend for AFC Championship. So I think it's a Patriots resurgence more than a Bills collapse.
I feel like, I get what you're saying about the Patriots have found their groove. They're running the heck out of the ball. Mac Jones is doing a terrific job running that offense.
He's doing a good job game managing.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's
is.
another one of those guys. He's a little bit of a game manager himself, but
I just feel like, given what Buffalo did last season, and they had all these expectations and everything.
I just don't understand. The thing about New England I just don't get is they can't win. Like, all of their winnings are coming away from home. They're undefeated away, 5-0 on the road, and only 2-4 in Foxborough.
Yeah.
That's just so puzzling to me. It's like, why are they so much better away from Foxborough right now? It doesn't make much sense.
I don't know, but for me, it feels like the Bills had that big win on Sunday Night Football earlier against Kansas City. It felt like the Bills had said, this is our division now, and all this, and then you come out and do that against Indianapolis, which the Colts are not a pushover. I'll give them that 100%. Colts are one of those teams I don't think playoff teams in the playoff hunt want to see.
Right.
Carson Wentz is having a resurgence too.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's more of a Bills collapse.
I could see
don't know
that.
if it's a collapse. I think it just now got competitive. I think they're going to be the two teams from the AFC East that are going to go to the playoffs regularly.
Yeah,
The Bills and the Patriots.
I'm still not completely sold on the Patriots until they straighten out their issues at home. I mean, if you can't win at home, you're not going to make a deep playoff run.
No, but it's been an impressive couple weeks.
Sure, yeah, they've looked great.
Yeah. Mac Jones is definitely he's better than I thought.
He's better than Baker.
What do you think, Kramer? Is this more of a Buffalo collapse or a New England resurgence?
Oh, as I was saying, New England resurgence. I think they've been impressive the past couple weeks. They're really starting to find themselves, and once Belichick gets going, it's hard to get them stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it. I just look. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if you saw this, but the San Francisco 49ers Seattle Seahawks game on December 5th got flexed out of Sunday Night Football. And the Broncos at Kansas City game got flexed into Sunday Night Football for that matchup on December 5th, I believe it was.
Right.
And I get why the Seahawks are 3-7. They're way underperforming.
Hot garbage.
Yeah, and the 49ers, they're not that great.
Yeah, they're not as good as everybody thought they were going to be.
Right. But, and I get why they flexed Broncos at Chiefs into Sunday Night Football because it's Patrick Mahomes. You want to put him in the spotlight. I get it.
Yep.
And the Broncos are somehow competitive in that AFC West, which I don't know how. But there was another game that same week that I think should have been flexed in over Broncos Chiefs.
What game was that?
Chargers at Bengals.
It just doesn't have quite the star power, you know.
I think that's where I disagree with you because you have two young quarterbacks with Justin Herbert against Joe Burrow. You got two explosive offenses. I think it would have made for a fantastic Sunday Night Football game.
Who's the face of the NFL right now?
That would be Mahomes.
Thank you. Just making sure. Just asking. That's why I still think that you want Pat. You're always going to flex in Pat Mahomes when it's a competitive game that he's featured in my opinion. I think that's their guy, and that's why they're putting him there. I would rather, as a fan, see that Cincinnati and LA game. I like that matchup better, and I think that's a cooler storyline with the young guys. But I think from
both teams are in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, but I think from an NFL standpoint, this made sense.
And I agree with that, just because even if I'm not watching the Browns play, then what I am watching is usually going to be one of our division.
Yeah, our division rivals. I'm the same way.
I want to know how that goes.
I'm the same way.
That's what I'm rooting for,
right,
definitely.
100%. 100%. Yep.
I would love a day where the Browns win and all our division rivals lose.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could use that for a couple weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use that for the whole season, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, if we beat Baltimore, we get through this bye week, and we beat Baltimore once, and that'll put us at, we'll say, 7-6, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good shape, you know.
Yeah.
It's still.
It depends.
It's up there towards the top of the division. It's not too far out of reach.
It depends on what happens with the rest of the AFC.
If Baker and the rest of the Browns wanted to completely change the narrative right now and do a 180 on everything, just win the next two games.
Yup,
Yes.
100%.
This would be such a different conversation.
If we win the next two games, that'll be enough to push us ahead of Baltimore.
What was that, Chirk?
If we went 12-5, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
It's just so weird saying 12-5 instead of 11-5.
I know, it's still weird to me too.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, it is. So that leads me to my next question. You know, we were just talking about the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to kind of tie this in. I've got two questions in one. So however you want to answer it is fine. But based on what you've seen so far this season, what is the Super Bowl that you want to see? And what is the Super Bowl that you think is going to happen? So two different things. What is the Super Bowl that you want to see? And what is the Super Bowl matchup that you think is most likely to happen?
That's a tough question. I would say right now I'm still gonna put Tampa in from the NFC.
So this is for the matchup that you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this is what I think. I still think Tampa's going to win the NFC. I think they'll be in the Super Bowl. At this point in time, I'm leaning somewhere between Tennessee, Kansas City, and Buffalo.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. As of right now, they've got the hot hand, and it looks like they might, return to their place in, the AFC by winning the conference again. But if I had to pick today, I would pick probably Tennessee versus Tampa.
So that's the matchup you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
What about the matchup you want to see?
I want Tampa versus Kansas City again, and I want Brady to beat Mahomes again.
Okay.
I would love that.
So, for me, the matchup I want to see is Arizona against Baltimore. I think that would be such a fun matchup to see Kyler against Lamar Jackson.
Battle of the Birds.
Yeah.
They could play it in the sky.
I like that. That was good.
No, I think that's a cool one, too.
I think it would be such a stylistic, matchup.
The one I want is, and I don't know why anybody hasn't said this yet, is Cleveland.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
Cleveland versus anybody, but I'll say Cleveland Cowboys. I would love that. I think the Browns Cowboys Super Bowl beating the Cowboys would be so satisfying, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it would be so weird.
For me, for the one I would want to see, it would be Green Bay versus the Browns.
All right.
Because either way, I'm going to be fairly happy.
Yeah.
And the one I think we're going to see is probably going to be Tampa Bay versus Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the one that I would want to see is the Browns versus the Cardinals, because those are two teams that have never won a Super Bowl.
Truth.
And I would love that AFC championship to be the Browns versus Bills. Please make that happen.
Okay.
Please make that happen.
And what's the matchup you think we're going to see, based on what you've seen?
The Rams versus, I would say the Rams versus the Bills.
Okay.
Rams, Bills. Okay.
So, I said the matchup I want to see, Ravens, Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
As for the matchup I think we're going to get, I think the Cardinals are actually going to be in it, but for the AFC, I can't put Tennessee in. I just think that I don't think they're going to be able to continue this without Derrick Henry, and I don't know what he's going to be like when he does come back from injury. I can't fully trust Buffalo right now. They seem a little shaky to me.
Inconsistent.
Yes, they're inconsistent.
Yep.
So I am going to go with Arizona, Kansas City.
Okay. Who do you think wins that matchup?
My guess would be Kansas City.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a high-scoring game, shootout.
Yeah. I want to see Brady get another ring.
You want to see him get number 8?
Yeah, I think it'd be sweet.
I think with that, him getting another ring in Tampa would be good because
he separates the talk from the cheating scandals that happened in New England.
I think
proof that he could do it without Belichick.
Right.
And yeah, I agree.
Right.
That's why I want to see him win another one.
Yeah.
I don't want the one Tampa one to be like, oh well, he just went to a super team.
Exactly.
And
Right.
Whereas if he won back-to-back Super Bowls with Tampa, I think that would just be incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Cardinals, 21 minutes ago it was released that J.J. Watt has offered to pay for all the family's funeral expenses from that Waukesha massacre.
Oh my God!
So I thought that was a really cool move.
Good for him. That's
there
so
was
cool.
another news topic.
Yeah, there was a dang it, I took it off.
Everson Griffin.
Yeah, Everson Griffin, the
Vikings defensive end.
Vikings defensive end. There's a breaking situation right now where a couple hours ago he's been making like these weird Instagram posts all day basically saying that he feels like somebody's after him, and then he made a video that showed him with a gun, and he goes on to talk about like another player on this team loaned me this gun, and it just got really weird. And then eventually he fired his gun inside the house thinking that he was firing at somebody else. There's nobody else in the house.
Nobody was injured.
No, and nobody injured, just him in the house. He's refusing to leave. He's refusing to leave the house though, and the police are there now. It's kind of like a standoff.
Ongoing situation.
Yeah, and they say that they have the team's mental health assistants down there helping too. So it's an unfolding situation. We'll see how it plays out, but it's crazy stuff in the NFL.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this segment.
We could continue this story.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that as it develops.
Yeah,
but we got to get to a break. We're up against it right now. Chirk, why don't you take us to commercial land?
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
I knew something had to give. I was overweight, I didn't exercise, and my doctor told me I would most likely develop diabetes if something didn't change. Fortunately, I joined a program that helped me make healthier choices, like eating better and being more active. The YMCA's Diabetes Prevention Program was a wake-up call that really changed my life.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention predict that 1 in 3 Americans could have diabetes by the year 2050. The WISE 12-month lifestyle modification program is part of the CDC's National Diabetes Prevention Program, where the goal is to prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes. For those who qualify, the program is covered through United Healthcare and Medicare. To find where the program is available in Ohio, visit ymca.net/diabetes. Take control of your health. This message sponsored by the Ohio Department of Health, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are who we thought we were. So what's the catch on All Sports Cleveland?
Welcome back to So What's the Catch here on All Sports Cleveland, and we are about to talk some college football, and we will get to the playoffs in a sec, but I want to give a quick shout out to my alma mater, Notre Dame College.
The real Notre Dame.
Yes, they defeated Slippery Rock 33-25 in the first round of the D2 playoffs at Muller Field on Saturday, and now their next game will be on Saturday against an old conference foe, Shepherd University.
Oh, man, I'm sure all 17 of their fans are so excited.
I agree. All right, we had to.
No, you're fine.
We let you take your victory lap for your alma mater. So let's talk a little bit about the college football playoff rankings.
Yes.
They were just unveiled last night. If anybody didn't see, it's number 1 Georgia.
No shocker there.
No shocker there. Number 2, Ohio State leapfrogged Alabama, and they are now number 2.
Also no shocker.
Bama is now number 3. And at number 4 are your Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yeah, and I found it kind of funny that, like, just last week, Josh had been talking about for so long, like, Cincinnati needs to be in the top 4.
Yep.
And then last week he's like, oh, never mind, I give up on it. And then the next week they're in the top 4.
Actually in the top 4, yeah.
I had been jumping off the bandwagon for a little bit of time now.
But I was saying earlier I had some questions about this. My questions come from the fact that everybody seemed to say that they see this is going to change, right? Cincinnati, nobody thinks they're going to be in the playoffs. But my question is, how do they end up dropping? Because I don't think they're gonna. Their games, they're not gonna lose.
More likely,
more or less likely, they're gonna win the rest of their season. So how do you drop them down?
Here's how. Look at who number 7 is, Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
They've got number 10 Oklahoma this weekend in Bedlam, and if they win that, then they go to the Big 12 Conference Championship game where they could potentially face Oklahoma again, or number 8 Baylor. And let's say Oklahoma State wins that. That's 2 top 10 victories
in a row
for Oklahoma State.
On the biggest
But
stage.
the issue is, since they already put Cincinnati at number 4, that means you're going to have to punish Cincinnati by taking them down. And I don't mind that, right? But a fan of Cincinnati who's been waiting for this and making this argument all this time now finally gets to see, oh, my team's number 4. If down the road we keep winning, and then I see us get dropped to 5 or 6, I'm feeling pretty angry.
Yeah, to me, this was the committee throwing Cincinnati a bone. This was, let's put them in the rankings just to keep everybody happy, to show that we finally caved and are willing to put a non-Power 5 team in there, because of what Josh was saying. There's a couple teams that are well positioned right behind Cincinnati to have 2 very big victories in a row.
Michigan.
And Michigan's one of them. If they beat Ohio State and then beat whoever it is, Wisconsin more than likely in the Big Ten title game, they're going to leapfrog Cincinnati. And then it won't be a referendum on Cincinnati. They won't say we're punishing Cincinnati. It's we're rewarding Michigan for their play the last 2 weeks. They played 2 very great opponents and they won. They deserve to leapfrog them.
That's my
Same thing can happen with OK State.
Yes.
Or Oklahoma for that matter.
Yes.
I don't think as a Cincinnati fan, though, I accept that answer. And I'm not a Cincinnati fan. I'm just saying if I was, I would be very angry.
Yeah, I would too if I was a Cincinnati fan. But I just think that's the reality of it.
If that was their idea, they never should have even done it to start with, because by putting them to number 4, you're already raising the hopes for some people.
Yeah. I think, people are going to say, oh, Cincinnati took Georgia right to the wire last year in whatever New Year's Six Bowl it was. I think it was the Peach Bowl, if I remember correctly, or it might have been the Sugar Bowl. Either way, we've already discussed that. I've tried to make that argument, and
Words.
Sorry.
Breathe and then say words.
Sorry, my mouth sometimes
That's okay.
my mouth sometimes gets ahead of my brain. What I'm trying to say is that was a bizarre year. It was almost an anomaly, if you will. So you can't take a lot of stock from that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is exactly what the College Football Committee wants. They want there to be a lot of controversy surrounding Cincinnati not making it so that they can expand, because that's what they want to do. They want to expand. They want to grow the playoff. They want more teams in it. And by having this discussion again and teasing people and putting Cincinnati in there, but then saying last second, well, sorry, these teams jumped you because they had 2 very good wins late in the season. And then it's going to be, well, look, everybody, this is exactly why we need more teams in the college football playoff, and then they're going to roll that out.
30.
Yeah.
Say that again?
We got Cincy 30 for 30.
Ooh, not a bad idea, actually.
Just because of this.
Okay.
I'm joking. It'd be interesting.
It could be an interesting documentary, though.
Sure.
I'll give you that.
I wouldn't watch it. There's nothing interesting about their season to me. That one win against Notre Dame is their only win that even matters at all. All of the rest of them are just, nobody was even competitive.
Yeah, the Indiana game, Indiana's...
That's not a good victory. Indiana isn't a good victory for a Big Ten team.
No.
So, that's not a big win.
Right.
They just... there's nothing
they
really
dismantled SMU, but SMU's wasn't ranked or anything.
Right. So it's like, what's the story even surrounding this team? To me, it's Luke Fickell put together the most talented team in Cincinnati's history. I do think that that's true.
Desmond Ridder has been great as their quarterback.
Right. But beyond that, there's no story there. It's just that they've been, they've had a weak schedule and they've been better than all the teams they've played, and not very impressive in most of those games either.
Cincinnati's going to make the argument, we just play who's on our schedule. And,
of course.
But guess what? Any team can make that argument.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry, but you can make that argument, and you can take that argument and throw it in the garbage can.
Right. Yeah, one of 2 things is going to have to happen at the end of the season. Either a non-Power 5 team is going to make it for the first time in an undefeated Cincinnati, or a 2-loss team could potentially make it for the first time. There's still some ways that this could shake up. This top 4 could get really interesting in the next couple weeks with the matchups that we have.
That's why this year has been my favorite year of the college football playoff, because other than number 1 with Georgia, we don't know what the top 4, or even the top 25 for that matter, is going to look like.
Right. I agree. There's more parity this season in college football than there's been in a long time.
Which I'm a huge fan of.
Right, and the preseason rankings were about as wrong as they've ever been because of what Josh was saying. Last season was such an anomaly, it was hard to get a read on teams. There were some teams that had some awful years last year that looked pretty good this year, Michigan being one of them. They only won 2 games last year. They were 2-4. It was ugly. They did not look like a team that was going to compete for a divisional championship or conference championship, and here we are. So it's just been, with COVID and everything else that's been going on, it's been topsy-turvy. There's been a lot of parity, and I think it's good for the game.
Yeah.
I want to see less of the same, more new storylines. You know,
Right.
I'm tired of Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oregon. You know what I mean? And then you rotate that fourth team. And it's between Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma, and it's just one of those teams. It's just getting so old.
Yeah.
So I hope that we do continue to see a little bit of chaos here, and that, you know...
Chaos is good.
Chaos is good. I think that it's going to be good for the college football playoff, and I'm excited to see how it shakes out. But I don't think Cincinnati's going to finish in the top 4.
No, I do not either. But now I'm looking in the room, and I see a Michigan sweatshirt on my left.
Yeah.
And diagonally to the right of me, I see an Ohio State sweatshirt.
Yeah, I don't think there's any surprises there.
Nope.
I mean, look, we've been waiting for this all year, and
all year long.
I don't even have anything to say about it. I'm just waiting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
No trash talk of any kind?
No.
I think it's pretty evenly matched. We'll see what happens.
Brian, any trash talk?
Absolutely not. First of all, we've won 2 games in the past 2 decades against this team. So if I was to dish out any trash talk, it would just be foolish.
You're going to give us a better fight than that, Brian.
But no. But at the same time, there are some reasons that I think this team is capable of winning the game. And that's more than I could say about Michigan for the past 6 or 7 years.
Well, you could have said that about the 2016.
Yeah, the 2016 game, I was pretty hyped for that one. And, you know, JT was short, and we did actually win that game. But that's neither here nor there.
For the past 4 years, I literally would have took my life savings and betted on us beating Michigan.
Same. That's exactly
this
where I'm
year,
going
not
with this,
so
Jeremy.
much.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So as a Michigan fan, like, no, I'm not going to trash talk or any of that, but I do think that there are some real things about real questions about Ohio State's defense, and Michigan is just good enough that they can pull off an upset at home, I think. And that's more than we could say about this rivalry matchup for the past few years.
It makes it more exciting for sure.
It does.
It does make it far more exciting. As a Michigan fan, personally, if we're gonna lose, I don't want it to be close. I want it to be over at the end of the first quarter. I want it to be 28-0 Buckeyes at the end of the first, and I can go about my day, turn it off, and not have to sweat it out any longer.
It's definitely more of a heartbreaker when it's close. That's the kind of stuff that'll stay with you.
But
if a heartbreak,
we're in such Michigan's in the catbird seat here. Like, they're in such a great position because if they lose, it's more of the same for Michigan. You know, they overperformed this year. They had a good season. You know, great. So what? They lost to Ohio State. Everybody knew that was coming. You know, there's no pressure on them really to really win this game, and it's at home.
That is an ideal situation.
It's at home, and they get to just play. They're going to fly around and play by the seat of their pants. They're going to take risks, and it'll be fun to see how it shakes out.
Yeah. So you think it's all the pressure is squarely on Ohio State?
All of it. I think all the pressure's on Ryan Day to continue to keep winning with that program. He still hasn't lost a Big Ten matchup yet. So no Big Ten team has ever beaten Ryan Day. So it would be his first loss against a Big Ten team. All the pressure's on Ohio State, in my opinion.
I agree.
Especially now that they moved him ahead of Alabama. You know, they made a statement like, oh, this team is legit. They're for real. And they are, you know, and that's why I think it's going to be a really tough game. I'll put money on Michigan this game just because the payout's nice. It's plus 250 money line, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line for fun. But like Jeremy was saying, if I had to put my life savings on one team or the other, I'm not putting it on Michigan. I'm putting it on Ohio State. So I think they'll win, but I think the door's open.
Yeah.
You know, the door's open and there's possibilities for Michigan, which is more than we could say in most seasons.
To end that, Brian, I just want to say the Ohio State will beat your Michigan, and we're going to be taking a commercial break.
Oh, you do it right before commercial, so I can't come back.
Let's go to commercial land.
My name is Judy Teeter, and I'm the mother of 3 boys. My youngest, Joe, loves sports, music, and his youth group. One day, Joe asked me to drive him to school. We were going through a green light when another car ran a red light and hit us, killing Joe. The National Safety Council estimates 1 in 4 car crashes involves a cell phone. Hands-free is no safer. Visit nsc.org/callskill.
Are you tired of renting, but the idea of owning a home seems unattainable? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency is here to help you realize the dream of home ownership with its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage loans, low interest rates, down payment assistance, and homebuyer education designed to prepare you for your journey to home ownership. Visit ohiohome.org or call 888-362-6432 to learn more. That's 888-362-6432. This message is brought to you by the Ohio Housing Finance Agency and aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. They're more efficient than the old bulbs, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. And they cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
A lot can happen in 6 seconds. A rodeo ride, a dramatic basketball win, and the world record holder can solve a Rubik's Cube. 6 seconds is how long it takes for an 18-wheeler traveling at a safe speed to come to a complete stop. And in those 6 seconds, that truck will travel the length of 2 football fields. So please, give them room. Never cut in front of a large truck for any reason. Our roads, our safety. Learn more at sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
So what's the catch on All Sports Cleveland? Trying to stump James for over 6 months and failing. But hope springs eternal. It's Kramer quiz time.
Welcome back to So What's the Catch here on All Sports Cleveland.
So, Brian, were you about to say something?
No, I got nothing to say to you.
Talking smack?
No, I'm okay with you talking smack. If I was a Buckeye, I'd be talking all the smack in the world right now. That's the thing I want to say that real quick. I appreciate Jeremy not talking smack, because you have 2 decades worth of smack talk that you could have dished out right there, and you were very
I don't do that anyways, because I have enough common sense to realize, like, regardless of what happened on the field, I wasn't playing.
And the tide always turns.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
It's always gonna swing back and forth.
And I don't take it that seriously either. Like, I'm never gonna come to blows over you being a Michigan fan and me being an Ohio State fan. I rep my team. You rep yours. Yeah. I respect the fact that you went to Michigan and that's who you rep.
Thank you. I appreciate
you're not a bandwagon Ohio fan just because you live in Ohio. Yeah. So I agree kind of with you should have a team and stick with that team, be loyal to that team, but aside from that, like, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
No, I respect that 100%. And yeah, the great thing about this rivalry is that there's so much history and tradition surrounding it that, like, it's you don't need to add anything to it. You know, the game is what it is. It's awesome, and, like,
I love that it's just called.
We don't need to add trash talking. You know, like, it can be, like, we can be respectful and like, it's so awesome. Like, both teams have a lot of great wins and victories and history behind them. Like, both can talk. And we digress. Yeah. Anyway, quick hockey update. We don't want to spend too much time on hockey.
No, but
how are the Monsters? How are the Monsters doing, Josh?
The Monsters right now are second in the North Division. They have played 15 games. They have 61 remaining. They are 8-3-1-3. So that is 8 wins, 3 losses, 1 overtime loss, 3 shootout losses, and they have 20 points.
Awesome. And then for your Metropolitan Division update, Pittsburgh Penguins are hot. They're on a three-game winning streak right now. Tristan Jarry's only given up 1 goal in the past 3 matches. Crosby's back. The guys are back together. It's starting to look good. Malkin's returning soon. The Penguins are turning a corner. They have 20 points. They are 9 points out of first place in the Met. So they are by no means, that far back. So yeah, things are looking a lot better than they did a week ago. So I'm really happy to share that about the Pens. But let's get moving on to the Kramer quiz.
Well, you forgot the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, yeah. What about the Blue Jackets?
They are 10-6-0. They have 20 points, and they are 6-3-0 at home, and they've won. Their streak right now is one win, and they are top 4 in the Met. But now let's get on to quiz time.
Quiz time.
And I have my quick quiz.
I got a berserker.
Oh, you do?
Berserker of the week.
Let's get a drum roll.
Is it gonna be like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame episode where we gave you the drum roll and you're like,
No, I got it this time.
Okay.
It is our hometown hero, Denzel Ward.
Ooh, all right.
Berserker of the
For what he's been
week.
doing the past couple of weeks, he deserves it.
Okay, good. That's a Berserker of the
Yeah.
week that makes some sense.
I
I
like
like it. I like it.
Good one.
For Nordonia's own, Denzel Ward.
All right.
All right.
So let's get on to the quiz. We have the Josh quiz, which is a carbon copy of the Kramer quiz. But
Yes.
go on. Why don't you take it away for us?
All right, so first question. What country has competed the most times in the Summer Olympics yet hasn't won any kind of medal?
Didn't we have this one last
No,
year?
that was about the Philippines hadn't won a gold medal.
Oh, they haven't won a medal of any kind, is what
Correct.
you're saying.
Iceland.
No.
They have to have been at every one, but they've never won a medal?
Summer Olympics.
How do you go to every one and not win a medal?
Vietnam.
Nope.
Laos.
Nope. It is, let me see if I can say this country's name right. Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Yes.
Tiny little country.
Who was the first president to throw the ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game?
Bob Dole.
Let's see.
Wasn't even a president.
I'm going to say Teddy Roosevelt.
Nope. You got to guess, Chirk?
What was the question?
And there's a Chirk moment for you.
Yeah, that was a trick moment. What was the question?
Who was the first president to throw the ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game?
And it's not Teddy Roosevelt.
Or Bob Dole.
Or Bob Dole.
Was it John F. Kennedy?
No. It was Taft.
Ah, okay.
William Taft.
I was close. I was close.
Yes, you were. When he was just in 8th grade, what NBA coach appeared on Late Night with David Letterman?
NBA coach?
Yes.
When he was in 8th grade.
Yes, current coach, by the way.
Greg
Popovich. Oh, okay.
Ty Lue.
No and no.
Luke Walton.
No, well, Luke Walton's no longer.
Oh yeah, he's no longer the coach out there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he just got fired.
Oh.
I'll give you a mulligan.
I don't know. I'm not taking a mulligan.
Frank Vogel.
Ah, Vogel.
Oh.
Good old Frank Vogel.
What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
Female pitcher?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was that.
I didn't know there ever was a female pitcher either, so I have no answer for you.
Jackie Mitchell.
And was that in an official game or an exhibition of some sort?
It did not say on the website.
Yeah, I'd like to check the
veracity,
authenticity of that one.
Yeah.
How many minutes was the longest recorded point in the history of tennis?
2.
So this is one volley, you're saying?
Yes. 2?
I'm gonna say 8 minutes.
Nope. Longer than that.
27.
Oh, you're so close. But no.
29.
Well, that is actually correct.
Hey, I got it.
But you got it on the second try.
Yeah, well. I took my mulligan that I didn't take the last time. I saved it. Yeah, I saved my mulligan.
All right, now it's time for Kramer quiz time.
All right.
Quiz
I
time.
just pulled up some NFL Thanksgiving game facts, and we're going to turn it into trivia.
Let's do it.
All right, you ready over there?
This team, blank, has never played on Thanksgiving Day.
Cleveland Browns.
No. They actually have played a Thursday night Thanksgiving game.
Dang it.
All right.
I was very confident in that answer.
Well, as I'm saying Thanksgiving games, we're also including games that were on Thursday night football.
Right.
Oh, Thursday night football, period?
No,
that were on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
It was the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yay!
And this team made their first and so far only franchise appearance on Thanksgiving in 2015.
2015.
And they walked away with a 33-14 victory.
Minnesota Vikings.
No.
Eagles.
No.
Dolphins.
It was the Carolina Panthers.
Carolina.
As of 2021, blank team has the most wins on Thanksgiving with 37, as well as the most losses with 42.
Cowboys.
No.
Detroit.
Yes.
Dang it.
Josh with 2, taking the lead.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Yep.
Not really.
I mean, those
are the two teams that play every year. Yeah.
In 1975 and 1977, the Dallas Cowboys did not play. It was the only 2 seasons they haven't played since 1966. They were replaced by another team. What was that team?
Giants.
No.
49ers.
No.
Chiefs.
No. It was the St. Louis Cards. Blank's 490 or 455 passing yard versus Minnesota in 1998 is the most of any quarterback on Thanksgiving.
Troy Aikman?
Correct.
I got
good
it.
one.
Nice. What is that?
2-1 between you two so far.
2-1-0.
Yep. Blank has the most career passing yard on Thanksgiving. The person who it was surpassed Tony Romo, so you know it's not Tony Romo.
Matthew
Surpassed
Stafford.
Tony, yes, it was.
Yes, I got one.
Wait, who got it?
Me.
Yep. He surpassed Tony Romo's career mark in 2017.
I was going to guess Drew Brees.
There are 2 QBs to have a perfect passer rating of 158.3 on Thanksgiving. I'll give you one of them. Tom Brady. No, not Dan Marino. You're already out. Tom Brady in 2010 versus Detroit. The other one, it was in 1994 versus Buffalo. Can you name the quarterback?
Can't.
Is it Vinny Testaverde?
No. So this was 94 from Buffalo, and he was the only other quarterback aside from Brady to have a perfect passer rating on Thanksgiving.
I'm going to go with Peyton Manning.
No. It was Dave Krieg.
Old Dave Krieg.
Don't know.
Yeah, Peyton wasn't in the league in 94.
Oh, I thought he was.
What team has the second most Turkey Day losses next to Cowboys or the Lions?
Cowboys.
No. No, I don't even know why that was in my
the
head.
answer on accident.
With 20.
Second most.
Second most losses.
Vikings.
No.
Packers.
Yes.
Good one, Josh. Nice pull.
3, 2, and 1. We're counting down now.
Blast off. No?
2 QBs threw 6 touchdown passes during a Thanksgiving game. Once again, one of them, I'll give to you, was Peyton Manning. It was the other one. And it was, for the other one, it was in 1977.
Okay.
And he tossed his 6 touchdown passes in a 55-14 win over the St. Louis Cardinals.
Bart Starr.
No.
Dang it.
St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was Bob Grease.
Oh, Bob Greasy.
Bob Greasy.
I know who that is.
Michigan legend.
I do know who that is.
Tampa Bay.
The Cardinals, though.
Tampa Bay and blank are the only current NFL teams to play on Thanksgiving at one point but not have at least one win. They are both 0-1 on Thanksgiving.
Dolphins.
No.
Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Dang it.
Tampa
Browns.
Jets.
Cincinnati.
The Bengals.
All I can think of with the Jets when it comes to Thanksgiving, the butt fumble.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Who can never forget that?
All right, so I got 2 more. The record for most pass receptions in a game is 12, and this was a tie between 2 different players. One of the players was the Lions wide receiver Brett Perriman in 1995. The other player, it was in a 2004 game versus Detroit. Who was the wide receiver?
Oh, I was going to guess Calvin
Did you say
Johnson.
2004?
But
2004.
It was
Charles Rogers.
No.
Okay, it's not Calvin Johnson because he played for Detroit.
I thought it would be Charles Rogers for sure.
Braylon Edwards.
No.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like a
he was
weird
drafted
one.
in 05.
Oh, you're right.
I'm going to go with Donald Driver.
It was Marvin Harrison.
Marv.
Of course.
2004
Starvin'
versus
Marvin.
Detroit.
The only 2 receivers on the Lions I remember were Rory Williams and Charles Rogers.
I'm sorry.
Well, didn't listen to the question, did I?
No.
Had a Chirk moment.
And for the last question, and the only possibility here would be for Chirk to tie, but we shall see. We shall see. Blank has the most rushing yards in a single Thanksgiving Day game with 273 yards in a game versus Detroit.
Adrian Peterson.
No.
Corey Dillon.
No.
Dang it.
This is versus Detroit, you said, right?
This is versus Detroit. It was the most rushing yards in a single Thanksgiving Day game.
Emmitt Smith.
No.
It's not Emmitt Smith.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
I win!
Juice. Juice was on the loose on Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Wait, did you say Deuce McAllister?
No.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh.
All right. Well, we've
I
got
thought
a
you
couple
said
minutes to
Deuce,
spare. Why
not
don't we?
Juice.
Yeah.
Why don't we just stick around and do our little quick thing?
Yeah. So.
It is our Thanksgiving edition episode, last episode before Thanksgiving, so we just wanted to real quick say some things that we're grateful for.
Yeah,
Josh,
so
why don't you start us off?
What are we thankful for? Definitely the show. And also mine and Kramer's show, Split View.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing those.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I thankful for? Football.
Amen.
Let's see. Obviously, friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely grateful of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know where I would be without it. I'm grateful of meeting all you guys. You guys are my... This is like family here.
Hey, Chuck.
I love you, Chirk.
And, yeah, friends and family, even outside of here, and all the people that I've met throughout my journey.
So you guys stole a
Both
couple.
good and bad.
You guys stole a couple of mine.
Hey, we're allowed to share. This is the So What's the Catch family. So.
Yeah, so I'm really grateful for this show and the opportunity to be here every week with you guys, for sure. I'm grateful for football, for sure. And I'm grateful for America. And I'm grateful for, can I say, no, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. That's what I'm grateful for. I'm going to end it right there before the FCC cuts me off anyway.
This year has been a little rough. You know, some crazy stuff has happened. But when I think about what I'm thankful for, it's actually been a lot of gratitude has come out of this year. I hit 2 years clean this year. I'm very thankful for that. My granddaughter was born this year, and I was very thankful for that. I'm thankful I finally graduated here. I've been planning on coming to the school since literally 2011. I heard the commercial and wanted to come. So it took me 10 years, but I finally came here and graduated. And yeah, it's for you guys and for the show and everything, but it's a lot of big things have happened this year. It's been a good year.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really grateful for my recovery, too. That
How
was a
many
good
years
point.
clean are you?
Coming up on 5.
Nice.
The 27th of December will be 5 years, God willing, assuming I don't smoke all of the crack before then. But I don't have any plans to do that. So.
No crack.
No crack. No crack.
Probably want a cracker?
No.
Right.
I've actually never smoked crack
Happy
before, so go on.
Chirksgiving.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Chirksgiving, Thanksgiving, whatever you want to call it. Go out, have a great time, but stay safe.
Do not drink and drive.
Do not drink and drive. And hopefully, I will be the 2-time Gobbler Bowl champion.
Ooh, the air hockey master.
Don't drink and drive, smoke and fly.
Smoke and fly. Why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly? And we're going to end on that. Good one,
I will
Kramer.
give you a Turkey Bowl champion update next show.
We wait with bated breath.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of So What's the Catch? Join us next week for more hot takes and very interesting conversation, to say the least.